All this talk of comets has got me kind of jittery. I don't know my asteroid from a hole in the ground, but apparently 2 meteorites a day hit Earth, and once a year, one the size of a bus lands. Now they tell us a hunk of rock that's half the size of a football field is hurtling our way at 8 kilometers a second. Yikes! 100 years ago, one that size wiped out 2,000 square kilometers of Siberia. My goodness. Let's go hide in the Royal Ontario Museum. Ian, tell me a little bit about what you have in this room.
Well, this is our main collection room. We have our main mineral collection is housed here, as well as our meteorite collection.
How many meteorites you got here? Pieces, I should say.
Well, we have 375 distinct meteorites and about 2,500 pieces. It's a real selection. We have everything from common chondrites, they're called, the most common types of meteorites, to something you won't see every day, which is something like this. It's a piece of Mars.
This is from Mars?
Yep.
Actually, it's got something written on here. It says, "Happy Easter, John Carter."
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so actually, Mars isn't actually red, it just looks red.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. So the rocks there, by and large, have this kind of gray to green sort of mottled color.
That's kind of like the Maple Leafs look like a hockey team, but they're not actually a hockey team.
I can't comment.
Now, what sort of brings meteors and meteorites and asteroids in the news is there's another one headed this way. It's about half the size of a football field. It's supposed to arrive here and cross Earth's path very closely in February. Tell me about that thing, and should we be worried about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, the one that's coming is going to be a close pass. It's well within the orbit of some of our highest geosynchronous satellites. So that's a close call. And the thing is, I forget the exact size, but it's big enough that if it did land, it would create a lot of devastation. It is something to be concerned about. These things do hit us periodically. I mean, meteorites fall every day, but they're smaller than a basketball. Or even there's even tons of dust fall every year. Yeah. So you don't notice it.
Now, hypothetically, and again, please understand it's hypothetical, but if that thing were to hit Toronto next February, what would it do?
It's the size of a football field? Is that
about half the size of a football?
Half the size of a football field? Well, it depends on its composition, but if it was a compact asteroid, say an iron-nickel asteroid, and it hit Toronto, it would be devastating. It would create an enormous crater. It would be a kilometer or more across. The heat and shock waves emanating from that would knock down and burn everything for kilometers around. The entire GTA would feel the effects, and substantial portion of it would be devastated.
Basically, you're telling me we're screwed.
Well, it all depends on time. All depends. If something pops up that we haven't seen, and it's going to hit us next year, and it's big, we have a problem. But if we have enough time, we can probably do something.
Run?
Well,
where are you going to go?
It's a round planet.
Yeah, we're going to run to Venus. Yeah. You've seen the movies, you know. It was a Deep Impact and a whole bunch of and the Armageddon and all that kind of stuff. Movies or documentary? Do you think? Could it be
a combination of both? I mean, certainly one of them, the Bruce Willis one, was definitely more over the top.
Yeah.
The Deep Impact one, again, it's the idea of being able to build a spaceship in time is not really possible.
Reese, do you know what this rock is?
It's a meteorite.
And you know where it came from?
From outer space.
And it made a hole like, you see that hole there? Is that pretty scary? No. No? That doesn't worry you at all, that big hole?
No.
So, touch it and see what you think of this thing. Does it feel like a regular rock, or feel kind of different?
Different.
Have you seen John Carter, the movie, yet? You ever seen any outer space movies?
No. Yeah, Monster vs. Aliens.
You saw Monster vs. Aliens. Well, this is where that rock came from, more or less, kind of, right? What do you think about outer space? You ever want to go there?
No.
How come?
I'm too scared.
There, feel better? The chances of a really big meteor hitting in your lifetime, pretty slim. Even if it does, I mean, what could happen? Mike Strobel for Sun News.